Greetings, Rocketeers. Well, here we are. We got progress. Maxi Alpha 3, eh? So, yep, I'm glad, I guess, that I decided to paint this thing. If you look at the rocket on the bag there, it does look really nice. You got no spirals on the tube. Everything looks all shiny and fun. And the nose cone does come white, so you know you got to paint that anyway. So, yeah, if somebody wanted to, you'd slap this thing together and just glue everything, throw the stickers on, and let her rip. But I decided I would paint this thing. So I did start out with Tamiya white primer on the fins. These are on those little adapter motor mount sections there, masked off the part that's going to be glued to the body tubes, of course. And then same with the nose cone. So that all went fine. You know, you look at it closely, and it's just, if you're a static modeler, for example, this is just a crime and a disgrace. These would go up somewhere on the plastic painting wall of shame. Looks really bad. But for a rocket that's going to fly through the air and then crash into brush, grass, potatoes, you know, whatever's out in the field, it's just fine. I think it looks good. No decals on the fins, so probably could have spent more time there. But again, they're just going to get beat up when this baby lands, right? But yeah, this was nice. This thing came in handy, this little tool holder bit here. I thought we'd go ahead and take the masking off these babies now. Very good. Oh, it's beautiful. So this is nice. Now I think I'm done with all the painting, at least as much as I can stand to do. It is now then going to be time to glue this baby all together, and I think probably for these transition parts here, or these parts that hold the body tube, I'm just going to use epoxy. I've got 30-minute epoxy. I was looking at the instructions. I was curious about if it said anything about recommended glue, and it doesn't. You know, it just says glue this to that, right? But kind of funny, I built at least 2 of these Maxi Alpha 3s in my life here, and I have no idea how I glued things together, to be honest. Because back when I was a punky kid in the 80s, I had Testors plastic cement, and then I had Elmer's glue, and that was it, right? But that's looking good. I did tape these little parts here that are going to glue into these, but some of that, while I was painting on some of them, it just came off. But yeah, there we go. Tried to mask all the way around there so I could get a clean surface to glue on, and I wouldn't have to do a bunch of sanding, right? Yeah, there we go. Masked the bottoms as well. This one you can see the tape came off, so I'll have to sand that a little bit. Rough it up, no problem. And then the nose cone is pretty nice. I did a little bit of sanding on the nose cone between all the painting. I started out with that Tamiya primer, then sanding, then the gloss red. Oh yeah, this is what we used here. So the Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch paint plus primer, which I'm not a big fan of. And then we finished off with the Rust-Oleum Gloss Clear. Multiple thin coats of that. But yeah, I probably spent not too much, but a reasonable amount of time doing all this painting. And again, if this were a static model, this would just be unacceptable, because it's just not really clear and shiny. But I like what I've got here. It's looking pretty good, eh? Yeah, I don't know. I went with a, what is that? It's an apple red. So I suppose maybe a cherry red might have been more appropriate. But that's what they had at the local Buy Mart. That was the best looking red that I saw. And I thought about using Tamiya paint for all the plastic, and then I thought, what are you, nuts? That's You know, that stuff's not cheap, like $9–10 a can. Pretty pricey stuff. Good for plastic models, but like static models, but just didn't make sense to me to use it on this thing. So yeah, I got to make sure I get all the masking off of the fins here. And then yeah, I think I'll start putting this together tonight. I've got to get this motor mount into the doorknob, but that shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, there we go. Very nice. Very good. Yep, there we go. A little paint on there, but not too bad. Again, I think I'll just use epoxy. If you guys have some other idea about how to glue in these fins with the plastic to balsa, by all means let me know. But otherwise I think I'll just scratch up the surfaces real good so they're rough, and then use epoxy there. There we go. Tried to keep all the root surfaces clean from paint so I don't have to do a lot of sanding there. And hopefully with gloss coats on there, you know, the idea is that that'll protect them when they land. There's this one, as you guys all know, is just deadly if you let it land on these fins, which it's going to try and do. But I am going to stuff a monstrous chute in there, and I think I'll only launch this with either a little D, like a D12-5 maybe. And then, yeah, I'll definitely be trying to catch this thing every time I launch it up there, because I don't see me buying another one. I was looking on eBay yesterday. There isn't even one of these out there. There's decals. And the nice thing is I got vinyl decals for this, or at least for this part. I'll have to go look and see if I got all of them, because I'd like to keep that sheet intact and maybe build this with through-the-wall plywood fins, right? Like an upgrade type thing, and maybe even make it 29mm and shoot it up there with F's and G's. That would be fun for sure. That's tempting. So yeah, that's it. Little update from the bench for you. I hope you all are having a good week. Working our way towards Friday. Be nice to get out and launch again at the little park maybe this weekend. That would be great. So yeah, let me know what you're working on. Any thoughts and opinions you have on this Maxi Alpha 3, I'd love to hear it. Any tips or advice or any thoughts. And yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. Please like and subscribe AC Model Rockets. We'll catch you on the next one.